Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Jada Toys RoboCop Light Up Action RoboCop 3.0. Featuring light-up visor and weapons included. As with the 1.0, he does have a light-up section here that you can try, and we'll have a look at that in a second. Includes two LR4 button cell batteries. It does actually say down below, way down below, it says non-replaceable, which was a concern that I thought I read in the first RoboCop, the 1.0, but definitely reinstates the fact that once this battery goes, it doesn't look as if it's something that you can replace. On the back of the package, Light Up Action RoboCop 1.0 and 3.0 respectively. Light up visor, two weapons included. The read-up says the year's 2028 and the city of Detroit is fighting a massive crime wave. Alex Murphy is a good cop trying to stop it. When he's critically injured, Omnicorps using their amazing robot technology to save his life and to transform Alex into RoboCop. Part man, part robot, all cop. Omnicorps thinks they own Alex and his amazing new robotic abilities, but they forget one thing. There is still a man inside the machine. Be on the lookout of other RoboCop pieces coming to us from Jada Toys. There's the 3 3/4 inch scale RoboCop 1.0 and RoboCop 3.0, a police cruiser with RoboCop 3.0, a larger police cruiser radio control bike, and finally a talking RoboCop 3.0. To see our entire line of products, visit us at jadatoys.com. Having said that, I'm going to take myself a break, get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Light Up Action RoboCop 3.0. There's more heading your way. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Included with RoboCop 3.0, you get yourself these same weapons that came with the Light Up Action RoboCop 1.0. You get yourself a shoulder or arm-mounted rifle. Something I actually didn't even notice or mention, actually, in the other review, but it does say OCP down below there. The paint is very basic in the fact that it's just gray, like a dark black gray, and then on the back it's just silver. You can take the rifle, just slide it into his hand, and then once again his hands are very closed together. But you can still take the hand, and luckily the handle is very thin. Just slide it into his hand like so. And then you have RoboCop with his, again, I'm not quite sure, it looks like just a small semi-automatic rifle of some sort. He does also come with his handgun, which we can take and put into his human hand. Just like so. Now, sadly, neither of these figures have areas where you can house the weapons. So you either have RoboCop holding the weapons, or you have the handle, or you have the guns themselves just sitting on the ground or sitting on your shelf. I do like, as mentioned with the RoboCop 1.0, I like that his finger actually sits on the trigger of the gun. Taking the weapons out of his hands here. Like so. Now he has the same light up feature that the 1.0 had. In fact, bringing the two in, or having both on camera here, there's the 1.0 and 3.0. You can see the difference between the two. The 1.0 definitely is a lot sleeker, even with the electronic components in place and allowing the figure to light up. He's not as chunky. When you start turning around the 3.0 though, he's definitely got a lot more depth, is a nice word to probably put it, depth in his lower stomach area. There's the two right there. But he looks a lot chunkier than his 1.0 counterpart. The light up feature on the 1.0 was down below his chest plate. The light up feature on the 3.0 is right on his chest itself. Actually right there. And the easiest place to find it is right where in between these red lights here. Light it up. And I think he lights up a little bit better all the way up actually as well. He lights up a lot better than his 1.0 version. The only problem, once again, something I mentioned with the other figure, was his mouth. His mouth just seems gone. It's just like they've put too much paint on his face. It does seem as if he's got probably 2 or 3 more coats of paint on his face than what he really needed. That is the only real shame that I have with this piece, or one. The other complaints I have are small, but I mean this one really does bother me, the fact that his mouth is not visible at all. He's also missing his Adam's apple, or what I thought was his Adam's apple in the 1.0 version. This particular figure is all black, while his arms are more of a shinier color, matching that of his, well, even his visor is a little more shinier, but his arms do seem shinier than his torso piece. Also his legs, just a straight black. But there are areas to it that look like they're shinier than others. Like the bottom sections of the boots, the shin guards seem to match that same sheen that's on his visor. And then he's got areas that are more of a matte black. I take nothing away from the sculpt of the piece. The piece looks nice, but especially in a 6-inch figure, there's just not a lot of details that stand out, just because the figure itself is based on a character that is just all black. He does have his still singular hand, and I won't talk about that at all in this video. But it's not a bad looking piece. It just looks really bulky in this area right here. Articulation, he is still limited because he has the electronics in the head, that his head only really rotates to about there and to about there. In fact, turning it right there, you can almost start hearing a click or a level of resistance where it's telling you, don't turn it anymore. This is where you want to stop. His arms do go out, not as much as his smaller self. In fact, there's the 3 3/4-inch version of RoboCop. His arms went out quite a bit. This particular one does not. It only goes to about there. They do go forward, back. He does have a bend in the elbow. Very stiff, though. A rotation in the hand. A rotation in the forearm. No articulation in the hand. No articulation in the torso or the waist. His legs go forward, back, out. Difficult really on all 3. It does move out slightly. Leg stops to about there because he's got this piece of plastic of part of his thigh that really butts up against the inner section of his groin there. He does have a bend also in the knee, and it rotates, and he has no articulation in the foot. I think as an outing, Jada Toys did a pretty good job on these pieces. Things such as mouths could have been better. Articulation could have been improved slightly. But I think sculpt-wise, it's not that bad. It's not really all that bad. The beauty of it, too, is by releasing them in 6-inch versions and also in the 3-inch versions, with the arms up there, you can get RoboCops in 2 different sizes. If you prefer to have them more with your Marvel Legends or Marvel Universe figures, you can do that. Or, hey, you can even have RoboCop with your G.I. Joes. That works kind of cool, too. Or if you really are somebody like myself who scales them, I prefer more of the 6-inch scale, then this is a pretty good figure. Light-up feature is nice. The fact that you don't change the batteries, though, afterwards, yeah, that is disappointing. I wish there was a way to fix that. But RoboCop as a whole, I'm going to only give him a 6. I think really the shortcomings of the sculpt in the mouth area really make this figure suffer more than giving him a higher mark. But still, as a whole, pretty good figures. And as an outing for a movie property for Jada Toys, I didn't think they did a really that bad of a job. I think of the 2, the 1.0 is a better looking figure, certainly in a 6-inch figure and also in the 3 3/4-inch. The 1.0 looked a lot better, but it is, again, just 2 different versions of what we're going to be getting in the movie, and then we'll definitely see how they turn out when the movie is released. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Jada Toys RoboCop Light Up Action 3.0. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned. Spot's going to have more collectible toy spots, other spots, all heading your way. Thanks for watching. See you next time.